back to my channel. Well, tonight we were in the mood for something sweet, so I'm gonna make a triple. It's called triple. Hold on a second. I already forgot what it's called. Oh, triple chocolate brownies. And I'm adapting this recipe from the YouTube channel Everyday Food. I saw this recipe and it sounds great. It makes a big batch, but you can freeze it. But let's get started, and I hope you enjoy the video. I have a pot of simmering water here, and the first thing we're going to do is take 3 sticks of butter. Now, it calls for unsalted butter, but I'm going to use, I have actually 2 sticks of salted and 1 stick of unsalted. Can you see that well? There. And I'm going to use the chocolate I like. It calls for 10 ounces of bittersweet chocolate. I'm sorry, but I have 6 ounces of semi-sweet and 4 ounces of bittersweet. And I'm going to melt this slowly. And you don't want your bowl to be touching the water. So we're going to melt this. And then after this, I already have all my ingredients measured. But while this is melting, let's move over and I'm going to show you the dry ingredients. 3 cups of all-purpose flour. While that's melting, we're going to mix our dry ingredients. And I altered it a little bit, but this is 1½ teaspoons of baking soda. Not baking powder, but baking soda. And I'm only going to use a ½ teaspoon of salt since I have a little salted butter. We're going to need 1/4 of a cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. And you can use whatever kind of cocoa powder you like. But it's 3 kinds of chocolate we're going to use. And it doesn't call for this, but I'm going to put a ½ teaspoon of espresso powder. That's totally optional. Espresso powder is strong, that's why I'm only adding a ½ teaspoon. And you want to make sure you mix your dry ingredients very well. You want the leavening to be mixed very well throughout the batter. You don't want pockets of leavening. And you just have to make sure you mix it for about 30 seconds with a whisk. You could sift it if you wanted to, but you don't really need to. So that way we have this ready for when our chocolate and butter melts. And once that melts, we're going to let it cool just for a little while. So that looks like it's pretty well mixed. I like Hershey's cocoa powder, and I also like Ghirardelli's cocoa powder. Let me show you. I actually have it kind of mixed, but I like to have a lot on hand, so I keep it in this container. I love this container. It stores well. And I would show you my cabinets, but they're really a mess. So that's all the dry ingredients. So let's move back over to the stove. It's melting pretty well. And if I would have had, well, I did have bars, but I was trying to use, my bittersweet chocolate was getting a little old, so I needed to use that. And then I had some semi-sweet chocolate chips that were already open, so I went ahead and used the rest of the bag. But you could use whatever chocolate you like. I always like to mix my chocolates. I don't know why. Most of the time I put milk chocolate, but since we have quite a bit of sugar in this recipe, I'm going to use just semi-sweet. But you'll see what we're going to put on the top. It's going to be really good. I'm excited. So let me let this melt, and we'll go to the next step. Preheat your oven to 350, and we're going to be using a half sheet pan. So it's going to bake for about 23 minutes, 20 to 23 minutes. But it's, like I said, it's a big batch, and I've sprayed my pan, and I also put parchment paper, then I sprayed the parchment paper on top. But you can see this is almost melted. Once this is melted, we're going to transfer it to my mixing bowl for my stand mixer, and changing bowls will help it cool off as well. So just about when it's melted, I'm going to take it off the heat. See, it's just about melted, so I took it off the heat, and the residual heat will melt the rest. So that's melted very well. We're going to, oh, sorry about that. We're going to switch, and then my bowl's a little hot. We're going to pour this into this bowl. I'm sorry if I have the wrong angle, but I don't want to spill. And I want to make sure I get all this chocolate out. It's a lot of butter and chocolate. It has to be good, right? Okay. I'm going to keep stirring that and put this in the sink. And I did spill a little bit. That's okay. I'll wipe that up. I'm going to let this cool for about 5 minutes. It's not too hot. I stuck my finger in it to see. So we're going to go ahead and add the sugar. This is 1.5 cups of light brown sugar, and I packed it. I'm going to mix that in. And this is 1 cup of granulated sugar. We want to mix the sugar in really well. And the sugar will also cool it down before we add the eggs. But I'm going to go ahead and add my 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and I like vanilla bean paste, but I use both. And I just eyeball it. I love this vanilla with chocolate especially. So that's 2 teaspoons. Let's mix that in. And we're going to use 3 large eggs, and my eggs are at room temperature. I like to bake with room temperature ingredients. That should be nice. Let's go ahead and add our eggs. And I'm going to mix this a little bit, and then I'm going to put it on the mixer and mix it for about 3 minutes to help the sugar kind of dissolve and make sure the eggs are mixed in really well. And you want it kind of shiny and thick. That's what they said on the video. I don't know. So let's move over to the mixer. Let's see. And when I put the flour in, I'm going to actually take my bowl off, because every time I try to put my flour in, I spill some of it on the side. I'm going to use my paddle attachment. You could use a hand mixer. You probably could do it by hand, actually. So I'll mix this, and I'll be right back. Okay, you can see it is a little thicker. And, you know, I was wrong. I can't take my bowl off with my paddle. Would drip everywhere. So I'm just going to have to do the best I can and just dump it in here. And I might spill some. That's okay. And you don't have to add it in batches. Just dump it all in. Let me get my whisk here. Now, I'm trying to get it all out. Sorry about the noise. There. Ooh, I made a mess. Okay. Let's mix this in. Like I said, it's a big batch. And it's very thick. Now, make it quicker. You want to mix it really well. Okay. Now, I think I'm going to alter the recipe just a little bit. I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of sour cream. This is actually, it's more about like 3 or 4 tablespoons, and I might be messing this up, but you'll see. I just want to try it, and it has baking soda in it, so it should be okay. So let's see the consistency after this. I love the tang that sour cream gives and the texture. Mix it in really well. Okay, now let me show you the next ingredient. I have, let me show you right here. I have some peanuts that I ground up, and I didn't get quite 6 ounces, so I added some chopped pecans, and I like the combination. And these are dried cranberries. You can use dried cherries, whatever kind you like. But I'm going to put 2/3 of this in, and the other 2/3 we're going to put on the top. So I'm going to mix this in 2/3 and save some for the top. And that's why I wanted to add the sour cream, because this makes it really thick. You'll see. Alright, we don't want to overmix it. So let's move over to the pan. Pour it in the pan. And we'll have to use something to spread it out probably, because it's pretty thick. It's very chocolatey. And we're not even done with the chocolate yet. I'm sorry I have the bowl turned the wrong way, but I'm not good at doing it backwards. I'm not even good at doing it forwards. Very thick and rich. And they also said that these freeze well, so you don't have to worry about trying to eat them all at once. Alright, I'm going to clean this off. I'm going to use this little, I don't know what you call this. I call it the icing spreader. And try to spread this out. She even said it was so thick, she didn't know if she should call it a batter or a dough, because it was so thick. I thought that was funny. My husband doesn't think it's funny though. He looked at me like I'm crazy. You stop. It's almost my bedtime. I'm cooking late again. And she said they're even better the next day once they've cooled. Okay, that looks pretty good. Oh, this is thick. I'm kind of glad I put that sour cream. We'll see what happens. I don't think it hurts anything though. You want it to be pretty even for sure, or it will bake unevenly. You just have to have patience. That's what I'm trying to learn, patience. Okay, let's see. What do you think? Y'all think that looks okay? Close enough, right? Chocolate gets everywhere. Okay, now here's the fun part. We're gonna take the other third of this mixture, and you can use whatever you like. Coconut, nuts. I'm just gonna sprinkle this on, or you could leave this out if you think that it's enough on the inside. I'm just kind of going all out today. And I never use peanuts really when I bake. I don't know why, but I really like them. And I think this is going to go really well together. Peanuts with the cranberries. I have some cherries in my freezer that I've been trying to decide if I want to make cherry preserves, but I think I'm going to dehydrate them because so many recipes call for dried cherries, and I know they're probably delicious. Let's dump that right there. Now we're going to add, you can use whatever chocolate you like. This is about 4 ounces of milk chocolate and white chocolate. And I'm just going to, I don't know if I'm going to use all of this, but I'm just going to spread these out. These are like this triple chocolate. And I love the white chocolate. I'm trying to hurry. Sometimes my videos are a little bit long, I think. But like I said, patience is key when you're cooking. If you take your time, I think it comes out better. Now I'm going to take my hands and press it a little bit into the batter. And also this will help me even out the batter. I don't want the chocolate chips on the side of my pan. All right, that looks good. So we'll put this in the oven at 350, and I'll keep an eye on it, let you know how long it takes. Well, the brownies are done. Now, actually, I have to make a confession. This is the next day. Last night, when I added the sour cream, I should have taken into account that the baking soda was a teaspoon and a half. So I switched my oven to convection, and the brownies kind of just spilled over in my oven, and I was so flustered that I just was going to scrap the whole video. But actually, when I took the brownies out and I cleaned the oven today, my husband helped me. It was a mess. And they're actually some of the best brownies I've ever had. And I used so many good ingredients, and it's such a good recipe that I thought I want to go ahead and share it, even with my mistake. But I just wanted to let you guys know and be honest and tell you what happened. But let me show you these. Now, I put white chocolate chips on the top. I would suggest chopping a chocolate bar, and it would melt better. But this is what they look like. My pan was a mess, so I just cut these squares up. And let me show you. I should have pressed the nuts and the chocolate chips in a little harder, but this is what they look like. They're so fudgy and delicious. So I have one to taste right here, and I've been tasting them a little bit all day, and I'm going to try to come up with other kind of recipes as well, but I don't have a good brownie recipe, and this one is really good. Look who's popping in. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. She must be in a very good mood today. But these are really, honestly, some of the best brownies I've ever had. Now, mine, I can't call them triple chocolate because there's actually 4 chocolates in here. I used semi-sweet and bittersweet in the batter, and on the top I used milk chocolate and white chocolate. And I also used peanuts and pecans, and it's so good. So let me taste it for you. Honestly, if you like fudgy, they're really, really good. And I'll even like them. But it makes a big batch. So, and the cranberries are so good in it. I really love that, the tart with it. Anyway, I know I keep rambling, but that's my confession. I just wanted to share because it's a great recipe. And like I said, you can make it your own. Use whatever nuts you like, dried fruits or chocolate. But I hope you enjoyed the video. And if I was smart, I would have shown you my oven last night. But I was kind of too embarrassed, so I just didn't. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you so much for watching. And please subscribe if you haven't for more mishaps and great recipes. And hit the notification bell so you'll know every time I load a new video. Thank you for watching, and come back next time because I'm going to have a recipe coming up very soon.
Bye.
Bye.